Hello, IK here. Welcome to part 4, AI Teacher Part 4, Chat Window. Uh, on the user interface, this is app.js, fundamental component, and is enough for this application AI Teacher. There is an input box. It is for user, for student, uh, learners. Hello. Uh, say only hello. I like to have short communication. Thinking hello. Look at now. I ask. We have in window chat. Hello, say word. This and hello. It is in window chat. Input box for send messages. From here, users send messages. And a window chat is for to see that communication updated. Okay. Now I ask, uh, what are you offering to me? Only one word. Only one word. Learning. LLM or AI respond me learning, offer me learning. Okay, what is topic in one word only? What is topic? React. Uh, you see that communication me with LLM. Here it is Open AI LLM. Uh, okay, now let's go to code. Here it is a label. It is outside of a window chat and outside of, there is nothing with input. Uh, but in code, we can discuss uh, how our input and how history of our chat coming in front of us on the screen in window chat. When we start code one component, we must know story. What is the feature of that component? And uh, by that, we must know state, variable what we need, and function. Here is a story or features of this component app is that we need window chat to see communication history and update, and input to send our question, send to or respond, depends about communication, send message to LLM, to artificial intelligence. Okay, and because of that, we have messages is history. Messages is all messages, history of messages. All messages from input all messages from learners, all messages from assistant from LLM. Altogether, we look at that in window. It is window chat, and state messages and set messages. This is the structured assignment. It means we declare two variable messages and set messages, but set messages is function. Why I say variable? Because when we see set messages is a reference, it is a reference in memory what point to function. Uh, Messages, set messages, the structure assignment, and this is assignment. Use state, starting initial value of messages is empty array. Use state is a hook by what we can do the structured assignment here in concrete situation. Use state is connected with a viral document object model, and the user state immediately when changes messages. How changes? By function set messages. Immediately after that, activate re-rendering. It is new data and activate new rendering. It is function of that you said. It is hook function, and we don't interested and we don't know the code inside that, but we know function of that. Okay, input state is what we typing in input box, and set input function equal hook use state, and the starting value, initial value is empty, input empty. It means input history, messages, input empty. It is beginning when we open, just after opening, and first look at on chat, on user interface, chat window and input box. Loading is flag. It is true or false. When starting asynchronous function, we activate loading. Activate that we change loading in true. It is like in building industry when building street through mountains, and they need explosive for working on that truss. Before explosive, we have a man who give up one flag, and it is a sign, all other visual sign, all other that they go in behind obstacle to save yourself from that explosion. Okay, because of that, for example, somebody call it flag, mark flag. It is a state for like metaphor of that flag. When we start, before starting asynchronous communication, we put true loading. Loading will be true. Okay, we will see that. Okay, it is knowledge. It is knowledge about this functionality, about this feature of this component, what we build now. Messages and input. we need to see on the screen. And we have three states here. And send message. Send message would be called when we type input and push button send. Send message, said it is singular. We send what we type in input. Okay, let's see that down. I don't need this part. Let's see that down. It is sending. Sending. Here it is. Send. On click, send message. On click is event. Call. What call? Call event handler. Event handler. Call function. What would be activate, have to be activate after push button, after on click on button send. Okay, but look at what is in input. You see it is input. Here it is. Input HTML element. Every HTML element, there is some attribute, and element input, there is this attribute. There is more, but for now, for us, interesting is this. Value attribute equal, right side is value of attribute. Value attribute equal input state. It is momentarily empty. Initial value is empty. On change is event on change equal right side on change arrow equal arrow function. This is parameter of arrow function, and this is function set input. It is a function what we declare in the structure, the structured assignment. Set input, and parameter is event, what coming from parameter, event. It is typing. Event, what event? Type some letters, type some key on the keyboard. That event, there is a properties target. What is the target? When I push a key, target is where is focus. Where is focus? Input. Input is focus, in focus, and the target dot value. It means input value. It means that what is in input, that value, it is what we push key, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, or any key. That key is a value, and every key we see how we typing. We see every key we see in our input, thanks to this set input. And after when we finished, we have all text visible in input, and we can put on click on button send. Okay, it is on change event equal this arrow function. It is always, in many cases, until now, in our practice application. On key down, I see first time here, and it is if we want enter, push enter instead push instead on click on button send, this is for it. Again, it is event, key down, on key down, because it can be other key, must not be enter, but enter is usually. What it mean? Again, equal arrow function. Event is on key down. Equal event on key down dot key, concrete key, equal, it is strictly equal enter. And send messages. It means both sides. It is a simple logic instead of if else. If we on key down, if we on click on enter, on key down enter, that moment would be called send message. Send message, because send message exists. Here is a calling for, it is a syntax for calling function. In this situation, send message function. And send message exists up. We will analyze calling send message, but there is a condition, must be on key down enter. Placeholder is what we see before typing in input, and class name is style, chat input style in CSS file, app.css file. Okay, it is input. Here it is push on click on button send, on click event call send message. Here on key down call send message, but that key must be enter. Only enter. Let's see send message. Send message. Send message. It means when send message is here, send message is declare, define, and waiting in running time that somebody called it, and we see how we call that message, and that message, send message, activate, and it is asynchron. Asynchron function. Asynchron function, send message, declaration, constant send message, reference variable, equal function, point to arrow function, and condition if input, it is input variable input. If not, here is interesting what we have dot trim. Every string there is a method trim, and here our input, text input, immediately we trim it. Trim it means remove outside the spaces if exist, left side and right side. Input trim, but this sign not if don't exist input, return. Return means go out, stop function, stop process, stop send message. Function send message don't go ahead. Stay all like it on our screen. Here is we all the time we are in this in body of asynchron function, and we are asynchron. It means we stop be synchronized. We are now asynchron. It means that other processes can go, synchron processes can go, but we stop. Asynchron process stop process, and stop be included in synchronized process. But there is a open process. It is often processes inside of these curly braces. And we see conditions, return means come back in synchronize and remove return means back to synchronize. Asynchron means stop to synchronize. Now, if all is okay, if input exists, we typing something and we put a button enter or on click on send, we declare new messages, variable new message, and it is equal messages with spread operator. Spread operator means copy of messages. It is all messages what exist in window, in chat window. This moment, first time when we send a message, there is no message. We are first, what we type, first message. It means empty. It is a messages use state, we see initial value empty. And with that copy of messages, comma, it is array together, is array. Second member is object role. Object, there is a properties role and properties content. Role, here it is user, because we send people who send from this is user. We can call that student, learners. And content is message. Message have a role and content. Content is input, variable input. And it is declaration. Declaration that new messages, it is a declaration. Nothing happened, but declaration. What means declaration means we decided about name, about type of variable, new messages, and the right side we assign a value. Value is history of messages. It is array. One member is history of messages, and second member, array member, is object with the two properties. Role, in this situation it is user, content, in this situation it is input. Declaration and instantiation. Instantiation. When we give name here and when we give value, we declare and instantiate. Instantiate. It means in memory exist in memory exist reference, new messages, pointing on this value. Of course, value is empty in initial rendering. But now, when a function running, when function is called, it means that input, there is a text in input, there is a text, and that text is a new value. Input is not empty, and it is new value, that text, and but not yet. We must, after this, it means again, new messages here is input is empty. But when we push enter and call this function, when this happened, set messages, new messages, new messages. Set this moment is re-rendering, and we see input in chat, in a chat window, in window chat. And after that, we empty set input is function what changes input, change that text to empty. And after this set loading is set loading go to true. Why? Because next action is send that message to server and to LLM. Because of this set loading through, a process of loading starting, process of loading. Okay. This is a declaration of res variable and await. Asynchron and await. Await means that we waiting until promise object, always go promise object with this request. When promise object return some value or error back, we waiting for it. And fetch method, there is two here in this situation. There is endpoint and point on the server address, and this is a server of root in server. This is address of root on the server. And second is object, curly brackets, object of method, object properties method is post. It is contrary to get. Post don't go by address, not visible in address bar. We use post when we have sending from form. Now we're sending bigger text. We can send big text from input. Okay, headers. It is method of hypertext transfer protocol. Headers is headers, properties headers is this object. Content type, this object content type is properties, and application JSON. It is information, that headers information for a server. That server know that messages in format JSON, and immediately express application on the server will immediately convert that JSON string, JSON string, in JSON object, and we can access to that objects and properties of that objects. In this situation, the JSON objects, all what we see is right in JavaScript, and JSON is the most popular notation for transfer between different languages, transfer a string between different languages, and it is only during transmission. Okay, during transmission is JSON string, but in when on the server arrive would be converting object what JavaScript can access properties of that object, etc. Here is, it means messages, plural. We send properties messages and new messages. When you look at why we need the new messages, why we don't send write only messages, but we must it because messages, only messages. Only messages in this moment is empty. In the first time, it is still empty, and only after a return from LLM we will have a new new. Okay, you can experiment and you will see that if you put only messages without new messages, would be some skip between your messages and the responses. Okay. And this is what we see. It is important for every, it is like that for every message of input. And every message of input go like this. Go together with history. But input here immediately is visible in window chat before arriving in LLM and go back. This moment we have empty message. Hello, say only hello. It is our first input message, and that input message is visible here immediately. But this response, hello, coming from LLM. After that, we said input message, what are you offering to me only? And immediately see, but after that, input message go to LLM, go to server. It means, and back from server, we have again rendering. We have two rendering, our put input, send input button. We have re-rendering after use messages, would render the window. But because all message is empty, we see only input, our input, and after that, our input go to LLM, go to server. And from LLM coming also to LLM go all messages, history of messages, empty messages. Back from LLM, from server, we have a message, hello, it is message from LLM, and hello say only this history exists, not re-rendered. Only re-rendered hello, re-rendered complete, but not changes in document object in model, in actual document object model. Don't changes this. There exists virtual document object model and actual document. Exist two virtual, and history of messages go up down between input and LLM, and all history now after hello. When I write this, what are you offering? I send that input, but together with that new input, we sending to LLM this history. Hello, say only hello, and response hello, send. But when I write what this input and push send on the screen, uh, during re-rendering in actual document object, um, don't change this because it is like it was, hello. Only a new node in document object model actually is this, and only that changes. Put, add new member in array. Response, learning, response, all history, and the new message learning from LLM. Only learning would be put, add to window, not touch other. It is organizing, but all message, history message go LLM and back. We can eliminate history, but in that moment, LLM would be blind, don't know what, don't know history of the, and it would not be communication with something who is who know what we talk about in history. Because of that, we must send history to LLM. LLM send back message on prompt, but also in that prompt can be in that prompt in that response to our prompt can be some reflection on history if it is needed. Okay, back to code. A server respond, and here we declare data variable equal await. Await, it means that we await that coming what coming from server, and from server coming response object dot JSON here is a method of response, and that method convert stringify string JSON string, because JSON string is in communication, invisible for us, and this method convert string in JavaScript object. It is contrary of stringify. Stringify is contrary. JavaScript object convert in string. Here, because express waiting and expecting that we send the data in JSON JSON format, but response here go in string, and here we JSON method convert that string JSON string in JavaScript object. And what now we have JavaScript object, and better say we take from that object set messages is set messages array, because messages is array. Copy, it is spread operator. It means that this is copy new messages of history, because history go to server and LLM, now history go back. It is new messages. But that history, we append this object, and this array, there is two members, new messages, copy of new messages, and the object role assistant and content data replay. Data replay is possible because of JSON convert string to JavaScript object, and this is how we object. There is object, there is properties, and also our what us interested in replay properties of data. It means that data is properties of response, response dot data dot replay. It is what LLM text of LLM, what LLM write to us, and it is if errors exist. Finally, set loading false, process is finished, and this is moment set messages, moment when re-rendering our user interface. And that re-rendering means that we see on the screen in window chat, we see my hello and hello, my hello, it is this hello, and hello from, and this is hello, here it is, this is hello from LLM. We see, of course, new messages. It is inside construction on how React work. New messages is will not touch actual document object model, not change my hello, because my hello is exist in actual document object model, but only would be add in actual document object would be add this, and actual document object it is what we see on the screen, and it is what we see through index.html, through element div named id equal root. We see what we see on the screen. It is all coming through this div id root, and it is actual document document object model. Actual. Why actual? Because there is a permanent. There is a permanent. Here is a permanent. Look at right. Look at source of page. What is it? It is a permanent document object model. Because of that, we call this React application and other JavaScript library application and framework, we call one-page application, one page, because like source, we always see only one document object model. But in that document object model, there is in body, there is, of course, there is you need to enable JavaScript, some information, but this is important. Div, HTML element div, ID equals root. And through that root, we see what we see on the screen, user interface, but in background, we see all this in source code, all this, and we can see in some of next video, we will see how we can see in a developer's tool in Google this actual document object model, how we can see this actual. We can see that like this. I can go to F12, elements, all what we see here, it is index.html, one page. And here it is, look at, here is a head, what we see in head, but here is what we see in body. But what is interesting for us, what we see in body, we see that div ID root, and when we open it, we can see div class app container. You see this iTeacher model. When I course put, you see iTeach model, and here it is welcome paragraph. This is the experimental, here it is, and all others. It would be very, very interesting to see during next video when we spoke about a document object model and about HTML, second part of our component, app.js. Okay, what was interesting here? What was interesting here? Is this communication, how communication and re-rendering what real would-be changes, and if we change this complete document object model, it would not be a performance of React as it is. It's all for this video. In the next video, this part of return, also very interesting. If you know somebody that needs video like that, say them. If you like it, subscribe, comment. Comment would be interesting. If what is ideal? I thinking about usefulness for people who watch my video. Usefulness is that you say your explanation. You repeat explanation, or you say your explanation, and help all of us to better understand, to better explain. But if you repeat explanation, it is very, very active, and it is public in comment. Of course, you can be nickname, but that if you explain this and somebody comment on your explanation, and if I comment on your explanation, that's it. We practically learn, all we together learn how to explain concretely this script in front of us. because explanation is a real art. Real art in learning and teaching is explanation, and the teacher can explain, but learners, student, must also explain yourself, write on the paper, and all this script write on the paper. It is very, very interconnection with the hand, with the head. And if you only listening, if you only listening, it is very, very hard to have that connection. But if you have hand, if you use hand to write and write, draw a line between in that process, connect on one and another, and if you in the end voicely explain, learn your voice and explain that what you draw on the paper and how you understand, it is really, really, really cold. And I think uh, I think that model of learning today is that it was always, I learn always like that. Use paper, drawing on the paper connection, and understand, voicely repeating in school to my student in classroom, or voicely I explain here on the YouTube channel. And it is excellent, something excellent for learning. What I very, very recommend to you, use your channel, create your U channel, use GitHub for for your application, and use paper, a lot of paper, and pen and tools for pen also, because uh, pain would be very fast losing your size in this kind of learning. Uh, Thank you very much for watching this video.